So Formula One has at long last released the calendar for 2024 season. Now, side note to certain sports, this is how you announce a schedule 6 odd months in advance, not with 2 months left to the event. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, figure it out. Either which way, though, we now know what the calendar is going to be looking like. And F1 themselves have been touting this particular calendar for a multitude of reasons, and we'll go over each of those in a bit. But first, let's quickly take a look at the calendar. You can see it on your screens right now. This time around, the season starts, of course, on 2nd of March. That is the first race. There's Bahrain, followed by Saudi Arabia, Australia, and Japan thereafter, with China once again mooted to make a comeback.
Yes.
We'll see if that actually happens. Thereafter, you've got Miami, Emilia-Romagna, Monaco, Canada, Spain, Austria. I think we're missing one. Can we just move the picture slightly down?
Because there were 24 races.
United Kingdom, then Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Azerbaijan, Singapore, USA, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and the season ends in the first week of December.
Yeah.
That is a long season.
That is a long season, because usually we'd see that by the end of November or mid-November, the season would be ending. When we talk about normal, F1 calendars, but this time we have increased races.
Yeah, it's a record number of races if they manage to get it done. You'd never have an F1 season with 24 races.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be quite exciting. We've got, I think, almost 3 races per month.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is great for us.
Yeah. Now, of course, it also shows, as Stefano Domenicali, the CEO of F1, said that there's a lot of demand for F1 races right now. The product, understandably, is very hot, and there are plenty of countries, that want an F1 race on the calendar. It's just a prestige thing, but also because right now, as we said, the popularity, thanks to the Netflix boom that has happened, it's really caught on. But also, those four key points we were telling you about that F1 was touting. What those key points were, can you just read them out? Then we'll go over them one by one.
So, the 4 key points here are that there are, for the first time ever, there are 24 races in the calendar. They have moved and made an effort to make the calendar more regionalized, which means they're focusing more on continents, having, one...
So multiple races in the same continent to ensure that there's to ensure that the, let's say, carbon footprint is minimized.
And this is something that has been talked about a lot because F1 is already a sport that burns a lot of fuel. It's also been talked about how much logistics and how much carbon footprint F1 actually has. It is one of the biggest polluters
on this planet. And what are the other 2 points? We'll talk about those also. One by one. What's the third and fourth?
Okay, so the Saturday races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia will respect the Ramadan.
Interesting.
And the fourth one is, which is, I don't know if we should even consider this, but Chinese Grand Prix returns for the first time since 2009.
Well, I mean, see, this again, there's a reason we're not considering this, because 2020, for obvious reasons, there was no Chinese Grand Prix. 21 too, it was left off the calendar. It was meant to return for 22, got scrapped. It was meant to return for 23 and again got scrapped. So again, I'm holding my breath on the China one for now. We could very well realistically be looking at 23 races next year if the situation there doesn't improve, or if China again, sees a spike in COVID cases. I mean, to be fair, it's not been happening the world around, but China, unfortunately, being the epicenter, the point zero, has been hit by waves harder than most nations. So that was why this year also you couldn't have a race in China. Fingers crossed, because truth be told, keep everything aside, I really like that circuit. It's a very unique kind of design.
Circuit.
Yeah.
Trust China to make things unique.
I mean, even Japan, by the way, has a great circuit. That 8-shaped circuit, I love it.
The street circuit.
It's not, it's a circuit. It's a proper circuit, but it's shaped like an 8.
There's a street circuit, if I'm not wrong.
It's Singapore.
Oh, that's Singapore. Sorry.
In Asia.
Yeah,
but
in Asia. Yes.
Of course, if you're talking about those, Saudi as well is another one. So plenty of street circuits, and also, of course, China. Let's hold our breath on for now. But the other points are really interesting. And for one, let's first talk about, I think, what the biggest talking point is.
The carbon footprint.
Regionalization.
Yes. But I think they really missed the mark there again, because you see the first 2 races are in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. You could have straight off went to Qatar and Abu Dhabi as well.
I think with Abu Dhabi, I think it's contractual. I think it would be a contractual thing that this has to be the last race. I think that's part of the contract.
Because that's been happening for a long time.
And with Qatar also, I think you're trying to kind of keep not all races in the summer, because again, sometimes temperatures come in there. But see, as you said, it's not the only place where
if you can't move those two, move those two.
Maybe maybe Bahrain has it in the contract as well.
Yeah.
Let us be the
I don't know.
We don't know, but you're right. They've missed the mark there. But again, even if you look at say the first 5 races, pretty much all of them are in Asia. But after that, it's where things get a little wonky. Because again, say Bahrain to Saudi, fairly close. Then Australia, Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. You're still in and around the same continent. And then China, assuming it happens.
Then Miami.
Yeah, exactly. And then not just that.
Italy.
Then, of course, see, Miami, I think, is the only outlier here.
Yeah.
Because again, I think with Miami, they kind of want summer vibes.
Okay, so see, let's see what's happening here.
Yeah.
Right. Race number 6, which is happening in May, is in Miami.
Yeah.
Right. The second race in USA is happening in October at Austin.
Yeah.
The third race is happening in November at Vegas.
Yeah, at least, but if you're talking about the top.
What regionalism? Because Imola is happening in May, but then Monza is happening in August.
Yeah, but see, at least with that, I kind of get, why. Look,
it's just Europe.
Yes, because see, after Miami, you have Miami on, round 6.
Yeah.
But thereafter, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All of those rounds are in Europe. Because you see, they even moved the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Azerbaijan would generally come in the early parts of it. So they've moved that to kind of ensure that you have the European leg all happening at one go. I think the only problematic one there is probably Miami.
Yeah.
Because again, rather two problematic. One is Miami.
USA and Vegas.
Yeah, you could have
actually.
US
ones are.
No, but even though not even USC, because I'll tell you why the American ones aren't a problem. Because once you move on, actually, there's another one.
Exactly.
Look,
you're going from Singapore to Austin.
You're from Azerbaijan, then you're going to Singapore, then you're going to USA. That is a bit problematic because see, after that it's still fine. See, because you have USA, Mexico, Brazil, and then USA again. So that's still in and around the Americas.
Yes, and one of the strongest points or arguments that I've heard against this calendar is that F1 should, FIA before scheduling the whole thing should. The basic argument is you should go by distance.
Yes.
Not just.
Yes.
I understand that it's in the same continent, but then you're again jumping between cities that may not be close to each other.
Exactly, because see, USA and Mexico are in North America, which is good. Thereafter, you're going to Brazil, which is South America. Then back to Vegas, which is again North America.
So why not just go draw a line that is going to take you from one to the other. Minimizes your distance when it comes to traveling. Not just this is a regionalized calendar on paper.
Yeah, it's partially characterized.
I wouldn't even say that.
No, I would, because it's still an improvement on what we had this year. Wherein you had, on one hand you're going to America, then you're going to Baku, then you're going to here, then you're going there. Don't forget, there's also, we missed, by the way, sorry, actually, I made one mistake. You're talking about the criticism, there's another one. You have Miami, then you have Emilia-Romagna and Monaco. After Monaco, you're going to Canada.
Exactly. How are you doing that?
What? How is that making any sense? And this for me is probably the biggest thing. It's regionalized. Sure, there's an improvement, but there's so much more room for it.
But I also understand that there would a lot of conditions would come into play because it could be snowing somewhere, it could be raining somewhere.
And Canada, we know for a fact, it's literally impossible to have a race in, say, where the other American races are clubbed in the end of the year, because it's going to be snowing like crazy in like November.
Where?
See,
in Texas.
Texas.
It doesn't snow in Texas.
No, but it is in Texas at that point. No, but by that point, if you're keeping it in November in Canada, I'm sure it would be snowing.
Yes.
Yeah. So Canada has to be at that point.
Wait, Canada has summer.
What?
During that time.
No, you're mixing up Australia and them.
Oh yeah.
My God.
I'm sorry.
No, you're really mixing up countries. With Canada, the problem is snow. That's why it's held at that time of the year. Because, but then why not have Miami and Canada one after the other? At least then you can still say, the regionalization thing is there.
And you're only 2 races away from.
This is not a good. I don't know. The regionalization thing at this point feels like, and it's true to a small extent. But more than anything else, it's PR talk.
You're still, this is making fans happy, but it's not really, it's doing nothing to the environment because you're already, a lot of people don't have any idea about how much carbon footprint F1 leaves. Because there are ships, there are planes.
There'll be buses also in some cases.
Buses. Like, this is no joke. The giant cargo ships are used for a single car.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, the only place where it's really regionalized is once you get to the Europe leg.
Yeah.
But even there, see, I mean, from Spain to Austria, United Kingdom, the travel isn't consistent.
Yeah.
Ideally, what you should be doing, and considering Europe is a pretty teeny-weeny continent in terms of size, is that you should be at those points wherein, you know, you are, say, for instance, you're here in this European nation, and then you go just here, where it's like easy, say, bus travel, bus and truck travel, which to be fair, they do use sometimes. But again, the distances are inconsistent. So the regionalization part, I'm not buying.
I'm
But
not buying it either.
what I did
It's
find
a facade.
yeah, it's definitely just PR talk.
Yeah.
But what I do find interesting is the Saturday races, right?
Oh yeah.
That's new.
That's
That's really new, because again, it's pretty much, it goes against the entire way of the sport that you're used to consuming. You're always used to Sunday being race day, but the reasons for them doing it, at least I would say, are fair.
Yes.
It's not a commercial thing that they're doing. Honestly, they're doing it, although I'm sure commercial reasons play a part.
Benefits, yeah.
Yeah, of course it does. But fair enough, you're doing it to respect the holy month of Ramadan. I can get behind that. That's fair. But again, this is a big calendar, and again, I'm not sure what. And this is just a thing. You're seeing an expansion now to 24, assuming all 24 happen.
Yeah.
Where is the point where you say, okay, there's too many races here and we can't maybe go beyond, say, this number? What would be your point?
This is it.
I would say 25 would be the maximum.
No.
If you have to be polite.
Considering that there's also a gap between September and October. So there's like a few,
Oh, that's another talking point. See, there's no summer break. Now it's an autumn break.
Yeah.
Look.
From 22nd September to the 18th of October, you have a break there.
So normally what used to be the summer break has now become the autumn break.
Yeah.
So it's still 1 month. It's still 1 month of essentially locking down the cars.
Yes.
They've just shifted the time, and it kind of makes sense because I think they want to finish all the European races. Because what's happening now, like this year, you'll have Belgium as the last race, and then there'll still be a few European races once the shutdown resumes.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair. That's okay. I kind of get the logic behind that. But you know, that's a lot of change, and I think
That's a lot of change.
Yeah, I think you'll soon reach a point where you'll see circuits alternate because now there's so many circuits. Don't forget, if you're talking about circuits that are there, which you know exist in this world, which can host Formula One, there's many. And if I recall correctly, India, there's Malaysia,
Yes.
there is what other ones? Turkey. Turkey is another one which has a race. Germany doesn't have a race. Germany has 2 iconic circuits, no race. No Hockenheimring, no Nürburgring. I don't get it. No race. But you know, there's
Nürburgring is a no-brainer. You should have that in your calendar. It's legendary, yeah.
yeah, even Hockenheim, give any of them are good. Just get me a German Grand Prix, please and thank you.
And also India.
Yeah, definitely India. Please. Now. We need it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, again, I think then if you actually have all of these, there was also rumors that F1 wanted to return to South Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So if you're going to do that, I think you'll eventually reach a point where you're going to have so many circuits where you'll see certain circuits like just have maybe 2-3 year deals, and then you'll see other circuits come.
Yeah,
maybe there'll be an alternation.
That could happen.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, like forgo this year and then have it next year. Something
That
like
sort
that.
of a deal.
Yeah.
Because right now what happens is like it goes through. Like say recently Austria was confirmed that they've signed an X number of years. So you know for a fact it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see that change, especially if they keep having, because again, F1's popularity is growing. No denying that. Sport's very hot right now. They have a lot of circuits the world over, and don't forget there are also been rumors beyond that. There's also been talks that you know they wanted to do another street circuit race in China, in Beijing. Ooh. Imagine. So if you're gonna have these many circuits, you have to reach a point of alternation.
Yes.
Otherwise, there's just gonna be no off time for these drivers.
Yeah.
But so that's our thoughts, by the way, on this calendar, and it's a pretty interesting one to say the least. But what are your thoughts? You can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and tap that bell icon so you know when we're going live or uploading a new video. And also,
don't forget to download the Sportstech app.
Plus, follow us across socials, and thank you once again for joining us. Right now, though, from Gargi and me, it's goodbye.